All right, everybody say shiny. Come on, in a group, everybody say shiny. Come on.
Shiny. Oh, come on.
Shiny.
Hey there! Just wanted to make sure we give Zack and Chris a big round of applause for coming today. They are awesome. If you haven't seen Serenity the Shepherd's Tale yet, you must go across the street and at least look at it because they did a fantastic job. All right, so this is the Q&A. So why don't you line up over here? Anybody with questions? And I know there must be several of you who have questions. This is a Q&A, not a L&A. It's not listen and answer. This is a Q&A. So who's going to be the first victim? Who has a question? Perfect, one brave soul. You are an example for all others.
Hi. Hello. First, thanks for being here. This is awesome. And my question was, sorry, I got a cold. My question is, what, if anything, is standing in the way of a Serenity ongoing comic? Why don't we have one yet?
That's not really a question that I can answer. I think the answer is Scott Alley. Is the biggest obstacle. I think there are plans for that to happen, aren't there?
We'd like to do more with you guys.
Oh. Okay. We just learned about that. Okay. So now nothing. I guess the obstacle was Scott not telling us that.
Okay, I'm asking a question on behalf of a good friend of mine who I read and review for in Utah. And she wants to know, because she was reading the Downtime comic, which you guys also did, and she wanted to know if you guys are planning on, or if there's a plan to do any comic maybe focusing on Inara.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Could you guys hear that? I'm sorry. That would be awesome.
That would be great. I think all of these characters are worthy of their own dedicated comics. You know, they all have, I imagine, very complicated, interesting pasts. You know, I think they should all be addressed together, maybe.
Yeah, I'd like to see, whether I'm attached or not, I'd like to see one of all the characters. I mean,
yeah,
you know, whether it's, you know, what we did with Shepard, or, you know, something longer form with Inara or whoever. I like all the characters. I would like to see more.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks for taking the time tonight. On Book Story, the graphic novel, and I don't want to say too much because I don't know who else has read it. You made the creative decision to tell the story in reverse order. I was just curious as to the creative decision-making that went into that and how you came about on that choice.
Well, that was Joss's choice. Joss outlined the story and laid it out in that fashion, and I believe what he wanted to achieve was an experience for the reader where you continue to think that you are reaching an understanding of this guy, only to realize that you haven't at all yet. And you know, with every layer that you pull back, to realize that he wasn't the guy you thought he was. And I think that's, you know, structure serves that really well. And, you know, to especially the moment where, you know, you think he's Alliance and then you realize, oh, I don't knit. I mean, am I spoiling this for anybody? I mean, you're here, so. Maybe I shouldn't say this, I don't know, but, you know, and then you realize that he's not. But then you realize that he's, well, anyways. I think that was very cool.
So this is a question for both of you. What's your favorite episode of Firefly and why?
Favorite episode?
I think my favorite episode is Out of Gas. I love that episode. Why? Because it's so dang good. I love, it's great to see how all these people came to the ship and everything. I love those sort of origin story things, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. I especially love Kaylee's introduction.
I can't really pick one anymore. When I was working on the book, I would just hit play all, and for months I was just listening to every single episode running right after one another, and I used to be able to separate them, and now it's just like one really long story. So I don't know. There are a lot of really great moments, but I really don't have one specific episode picked out.
How about the best moment then?
Nice try, Chris.
I really like the moment when, at the end of Our Mrs. Reynolds, when Mal says, "I knew you kissed her." I think that moment not only sort of sums up who he is, but also was the entire inspiration for Captain Hammer.
Hi. So with Joss now attached to directing the Avengers, I'm curious, because there's been talks of a Dr. Horrible sequel. Do we have any sort of realistic time frame on when that could be with him attached to this, or no?
No. He's going to be awfully busy for a long time.
Right.
But we have done a lot of work on it. So if, we should be able to, once everyone is free, to get it done quickly. And I don't think there's any chance of us not doing it.
All right, thank you.
My friends and I are often saying about Joss that first he makes you love him, then he kills their puppy. And so what is it about your guys' background that makes that how you guys work?
You want to answer this one? I don't know. I don't think it has to do with our background. I think it just has to do with, wanting to make wanting to make emotional moments count and to make things resonate. And if you're going to care that somebody dies, you have to know who they are first. And I think that everybody should do that. And, if they're telling a story that involves a death, you should know who you're killing, and that should mean something.
Well, I've got a question for Chris. In The Shepherd's Tale, I'm not spoiling too much, but you are drawing the character of Shepherd Book younger and younger and younger. How did you prepare to do that?
Well, I originally was trying to look at, older photos of Ron Glass, and then, trying to draw him with his black mustache and how he used to look on, whatever TV shows, and it just didn't ring true. It didn't look like Book anymore. It looked like, whatever character he was playing in the past. So the same thing that I did with the actual look of all the characters in the book is that they're not dead on the actors, they're actually the characters. So, you can see who they are from their outfits and the way they act and the way they move, but they're not the actors specifically. So instead of it being Ron Glass, it's just sort of a younger version of Book. So